Cylinders are really just a special kind of prism because they have a base that is a circle and they go straight up from that base. So just as we were saying yesterday, that volume of a prism is always the area of capital B base, meaning the area of the bottom, which in this case, if it's a circle, we know that the area of the bottom is radius squared times pi. And then once we have that area, we multiply it by the height. So capital B base is this, and the height is this. Capital B base is a circle, and then we multiply that times the height of the cylinder. So essentially, you've already done what we have to do tonight. When I say base, height, it's the height of the cylinder. So if I tell you, I'm going to erase that inside. If I tell you that this is a circle that has a radius of, I don't know, let's make it 3, and a height of 6, I would say radius squared, 3 squared, times pi, and this will give me the area of the base, or like the bottom layers when we were playing with the cubes. And now I will multiply it by 6, because that is the height of this cylinder. I can't quite do that in my head, so I'm going to get out my trusty calculator, and I'm going to say 9 times 3.14. That, if you are curious, is 28.26. And now I'm going to multiply that quantity by 6, and I get 169.56. And just to be clear, let's make these inches. And just as before, if I'm talking about volume, I'm talking about cubes, so this is cubic inches. You need to be aware sometimes the cylinder could be on its side, like a pipe on its side. Sorry, my drawing is not so great, but I think you get the idea. This time, let's say it has a diameter of 5 inches and a height of 7. Now notice, because even though it's on its side, these are still the base, because you have to imagine that it's going straight up. If I think about this, from this base bottom, there's no right angle that it goes up. So you have to imagine in your mind that it's standing on its edge, like this, like the one we saw in the last one. Because here, if this is circular, these things, then there's no straight up from that side, from the sides. So you just need to recognize that you're dealing with the base of a circle, and that makes this 7 the height. So as I know, you have to be able to do radius squared times pi. So before I do that, I have to say the 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5. Sorry for my messiness. Remember, I'm doing capital B base times the height. So this is radius squared times pi, and then I'm going to multiply that by the height, which is 7. And really, when you start doing this, you can do this in your calculator, all in one calculator thing. 2.5 squared, then you have to say equals, times 3.14 times 7, and then equals, and we get 137.375. And usually they will tell you, and again, this would be cubic inches, And you will be told what digit to round to. So let's say you're told to round to the nearest tenth. That would make this 137.4 because I look at the digit that I'm to round to, and then I check out the one next to it, and 7 tells me I go up. So this would be inches cubed. You only have a half of a cylinder. So if a picture looks like this, think of a pipe cut in half, and like this, and like this. Understand that this is half of a cylinder that would be on its end, right, and cut in half. So if I say that this is 8, and this is, let's call it centimeters, and this is 10 centimeters, I'm looking for the area capital B base, which is half of a circle, which is radius squared times pi divided by 2. Because, again, you have to stand them on their edge so that this is the right angle from the floor, or the, whatever you're putting it on, from what it's standing on, goes up at a right angle. You can see that this here is not at a right angle, it's curved. So you have to imagine it going straight up. You have to imagine it that it's half. So the radius in this would be 4 squared times 3.14, and then we're going to divide that by 2, and when we're done we will multiply the whole thing, because this is capital B base times the height. This is capital B base, let's just times the height. Okay, so capital B base is a circle, only this time it's a half of a circle. So again, you can use your calculator, say 4 squared times pi divided by 2 times 10 equals, and that is 251.2, and it would be cubic centimeters. So you need that, sorry, that's got to be within view. I'm going to erase that so you can see it. It's going to be 251.2 centimeters cubed.